Hi, welcome to David's Academy. Here we're going to do a Pearson Edexcel International GCSE paper for the Monday 7 January 2019. The paper reference for this paper is 4MA1/1HR. So this can be like the second video for the channel HyperDave, and I hope so I'll be able to explain to you guys the concepts and the ideas that we need to use to answer these questions in a GCSE paper. So as you can see here, they asked us to use black ink. So for our exam, we have to always use a black ink. This is a higher tier paper. I will also be doing some questions based on the foundation papers, but for now we'll just start with the higher tier papers. And remember, this is for the specification of Mathematics A. Okay, so as you can see, International GCSE Mathematics, they always give a formula sheet. So you don't need to memorize some of these formulas. The formulas are given to you for the exam. So let's start. First question is to show, we have to show how these fractions are added up and are becoming a mixed fraction, okay? So let's start by making these into improper fractions using a concept. You can do it like any style or how you guys do it, so I'm just going to follow the style that I use. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 by 3 plus 4 times 2 is 2 for 6, 8, 8 plus 3 is 11 divided by 4. Now what I like to use is called the cross multiplication method, okay? So the cross multiplication method, or as the butterfly method, is where you multiply both fractions, the numerator with the denominator, or the denominator or the numerator, and we multiply both the denominators together, okay? So we have here like 5 times 4 plus 11 times 3. You can put them in brackets if you like. 3 times 4, okay? This is the butterfly technique. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 33 divided by 12. As you can see, we will get our answer as 53 divided by 12. Now, how are you going to show this as a mixed fraction? So you can do 53 divided by 12. Usually you can write down the 12's table. Let's do 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 should be 24. 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4 is 48, right? So we have to continue doing this till we reach something close to 53, so 60. So we're going to use 48 here, and the value here is 4 minus 53 minus 48 should be giving us as 5. So we will be doing this in the form of like an anti-clockwise rotation. So we can write 5, 12 to 4. This is our value, and this is what we're going to write for 3 marks. That's enough. So it doesn't matter which style you use. All it matters is that you get the answer and show some working, okay? So next question is that there are 60 children in the club, and the ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys is 3:1. So there are 3/5 of the girls play a musical instrument, 4/5 of the boys play a musical instrument. What fraction of the 60 children play a musical instrument? So for 4 marks, we need to understand how the marking scheme goes. As you all know, what is a marking scheme is it shows the answers to the questions on how you should write, how you should give it, right? So it doesn't matter as long as you show the steps. So first one, we're going to find out the number of girls as well as boys, because they gave us 60 children. So we know that the total is equal to 60, right? So we're going to find out the number of girls to boys. It's 3:1. This is representing the girls. This is representing the boys, right? So for girls, we know that the total is 3 plus 1 is 4. So for girls, it's 3 by 4 multiplied by the total number of children. We should be getting 3 by 5 of 60 as 45. So there are 45 girls in the club. Number of boys is going to be equal to quarter of a 60, which is going to be quarter of a 60 should be approximately 15 boys in a club, right? Sorry, 15 boys in a club. Now, what fraction of the 60 children play a musical instrument? Right, so we have to find out the number of girls and boys who play musical instruments. So we know that 3 by 5 of the girls play the musical instrument. So 3/5 of 45 is going to be 27 girls who play a musical instrument. 4/5 of 60 boys, of 15 boys should be about 12 boys. So we calculate the total is going to be of the children who play a musical instrument is going to be about 39, right? So what fraction? So they asked us a fraction, so you cannot leave this as 39. So you have to write 39 over the total number of children, which is 60. Now, what I would like you to do is not to leave your answer like this, but always simplify it. So it'll become 13/20. Just type it in your calculator and you'll get the answer for 4 marks. There you go. Next question. It shows us 2 right angle triangles. This is showing in triangle PQR. So S is a point on PR, such that the angle RSQ is equal to 90 degrees. RQ is equal to 14 centimeters, RS is equal to 10 centimeters, SP is equal to 5 centimeters. Does that work out the length of PQ? So now for this question, we have to find out what PQ is, right? We have to find out what this length is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take out one triangle out of here, QSR. We're going to look at this triangle here. Okay, so we can write down the values: 14 cm, 10 centimeters. So we have a right angle triangle. So for this, we can use the Pythagoras theorem, by Pythagoras theorem, right? So Pythagoras theorem says that if the hypotenuse that is squared is equal to the height squared plus base squared. So we know that our hypotenuse is going to be 14 and our base is 10. We have to find out the height. And now I'm not going to do the formula substitution. This comes under algebra substitution, but you should be knowing it by now. So we have square root of hypotenuse squared minus b squared. So the square root of hypotenuse is 14 minus base is 10 squared. That should be giving your answer directly as 4/6. This is a third, but we're going to make it, we're going to leave it as a third. It's better to leave it as a third. Do not leave it as a decimal. If you want, you can just leave it to 3 decimal places if you like. So we'll leave it as a third. Now we're going to take the other triangle, that is QPS. That is this triangle here, right? So we know as PS is 5 centimeters. We know as QS is the third, 4/6. Now we have to find out the hypotenuse. We can use the same formula, HYP2, that's here, and just do the algebra substitution to find out the value. We know the height is 4�6 squared plus the base 5 squared. So based on that, we're going to write it down we're going to type it down in the calculator and check what the answer is. So the answer is about 11. So our answer is 11 centimeters. That's it. So done. You can just write it in 11 centimeters, and PQ is 11 centimeters. It should be correct. Next question. A, B, and 40 are 4 numbers. A is the least number, 40 is the greatest number. The range of the 4 numbers is 14, the median of the 4 numbers is 30. Work out the value of A and the value of B. Now for this question for 3 marks, we're not going to spend much time on it. So we're just going to write the formula for range is that the range is the highest value minus the lowest value, right? So we know that these are 4 numbers. A is the least and 40 is the greatest, right? So the range of the 4 numbers is given to us 14. So range is the highest value. So the highest value here is 40 because it's the greatest number, minus the lowest value, which is A, which is the least number. And the range is given to us of the 4 numbers is 14. So there you go. You get your equation there, put it in, solve it, and you will get minus 26. The negatives cancel out, so it will become A is equal to 26. Okay, so as A is equal to 26, we have already found out our numbers for A. A is 26, A is 26, but we haven't found out B yet. So the median, right now, what is median? Median is the, let's say, the middlemost number, okay? So the median for this value is that we have to find out what the median is. Median is the middlemost number. So as you can see, A plus B, the middlemost values, is divided all by 2. Okay, so we found out what A is, 26, plus B is equal to 2. So we don't need to put an equal sign here. So we're just going to use this concept. That's it. So 26 plus b divided by 2 is going to be equal to the median is 30. So the median of the four numbers is 30. So now we're just going to solve for b. I'm not going to do the whole calculation. You should be knowing it by now. So 30 times 2, we put in brackets, minus 26, right? So minus 26, that should be giving us 34. There you go. We get A as 26. We get B as 34. These are the correct answers. Next question. The Shanghai-Maglev train takes 8 minutes to travel a distance of 30.5 kilometers. Work out the average speed of the train. We're going to use a formula triangle. As you all know, formula triangles are a very really realistic representation form of representing formulas, and it's a very clean and nice simple way of displaying the formula. So we have to work out the average speed of the train. So speed is equal to distance divided by time. You have to know the values at which distance and time works at. So distance is usually meters and time is usually seconds, but in this case you have to give your answer in terms of kilometers per hour. So we're going to work as distance as kilometers, time in hours, speed will be kilometers per hour. Okay, so now we have the time given to us. We know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So how much is 8 minutes? So 8 minutes divided by 60. 8 divided by 60 should give us about 2 by 15 hours. So that's your answer. We're just going to get 2 by 15 hours. So we're going to get speed is equal to the distance that is given us as 13.5 kilometers divided by the time, which we found in hours. We're going to write as the speed as 30.5 divided by 2 by 5, and we're going to be getting a decimal of 76.25, right? So we should be getting a decimal of about the value should give us about 76.25. However, there is one exception to this question, right? We have to understand the way this works is that the answer to this question is giving us in kilometers per hour, right? Sorry, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't type it in the calculator properly. I'm going to type it again. We should be getting not this value, sorry. We should be getting the value 15 should be here, 228.75 kilometers per hour. I'm sorry. So 228.25 kilometers per hour. So it should be correct. It's just calculating input. So basically, for your iGCSE exams, always be careful on how you're going to type in your calculator. So the next one is that the diagram shows a triangle PQR, and in the diagram all the angles are in degrees. RP is equal to RQ. So this shows an isosceles triangle. You have to know isosceles triangle is that the base angles are always equal to each other. These base angles are equal to each other. So find the value of y. So if we know that these base angles are equal, however, you can use one other strategy is that if you want to find out that these base angles are equal, so first one, we're going to find out the value for x, right? It's very important. So the base angles are equal for an isosceles triangle. You should be knowing that by now. So 3x, you're going to get x plus 52 minus 10. We're just going to get 52 minus 10. That should be about 3x. You can put plus minus x is equal to 42. So about 2x is equal to 42. So x should be 42 divided by 1. That should be about 21, right? Yeah, so x is 21. So we're going to find out the value for this is that you just type it in your calculator down again. You just do that. You'll get value, this one as 73. This should also be equal to 73. So there you go, 73, 73. How we're going to find y is that we have to know one rule. All angles in a triangle, they all add up to 180. So all these angles in the triangle, they all add up to 180 degrees. They all add up. So we will get y is equal to 180 degrees minus these two values that are added. So 146 degrees. So y should be 180 degrees minus 146 degrees. So that should be about 34 degrees. So there you go, 34 degrees. So y is 34 degrees for 4 marks. You have solved the question. They didn't ask you to give any reasoning, so there is no marks for reasoning, okay? We're just showing our method, how we're solving. The next one refers to the topic similarity. So the diagram shows two towers in Kuwait. The real height of tower A is 187 meters. The real height of tower B is 147 meters. Ahmed makes a scale model of both towers. The height of tower A on the scale model is 90 centimeters. Work out the height of tower B on the scale model. Give your answers to correct to the nearest centimeters. So we have to remember the formula is that the scale factor is equal to the new length divided by the old length, okay? So that's very important, and the new length is divided by the old length. So what we know is that the height of tower A in scale model is 90 centimeters. So it's 90 centimeters. So what we're going to do is going to do some comparisons, okay, between them. So for a given value for a scale model, for A and B. For A, we have 90. For B, we have an unknown value of x. We don't know we will get to know the height of the tower once we calculate it. So we will know the answer. 90 divided by the original, real height, 187 meters, right? So very important. And for B, it's 147. So what we're going to do is just going to find out what x is by 90 times 147 divided by 187. So x should be 90 times 147 divided by 187. That should be giving us the value as 70.74. We're going to round it off to the nearest centimeter. So it should be giving us as 71. 71 is your answer in cm. Okay, so there's no value changing here. We just solved the question. So we're going to solve the questions all the way till 10 because there might not be enough space for the video to hold it. So we're going to try our best to solve it. So I'm going to continue the paper in the next video, so don't worry. So let's start. Solve the simultaneous equations. What I like is that there are always two methods of solving this. You can search it up in the internet. So there's one way of finding it out. It says simultaneous equation. It's the simultaneous way, and then there's the elimination method, right? The elimination method is the fastest method that we can use for 3 marks. So what you do is 4x plus 2y. You write down the equations on the paper, I mean on the exam, and you look at the value, what you can cancel out. So you can easily multiply this equation all by all by 2, okay? So you have 4 multiplied by 2, 2 for 6, 8x, plus 4y. This is one equation. This is the second equation. Is equal to 18x minus 4y is equal to 9. Now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to cancel out this y. So in order to cancel out this y, we're just going to add everything up. So 9x, because 4 plus minus y is 0. So this cancel out. 18 plus 9, that should give us 27. So how do you find x? 27 divided by 9, 3. There you go, x is equal to 3. So you just put it into any equation you get, so you get 3. So 3 minus 4. So you can do 4, 9 minus 3. You can do that. You get y is equal to 6 divided by minus 4. Y should be giving you the value of minus 1.5. So 3 minus 1.5. It doesn't matter, you can give it as a fraction also, but preferably I would like you to give it in a decimal form, in decimal notation. Okay, so next question is that n is equal to 480 times 10 raised to the power 9. Write n as a number in standard form. So how do you write this? Okay, standard form notation is any number between 1 and 10, okay? So we're going to make it into a decimal, 4.8 times 10 raised to the power, because we're doing that, we're going to increase our power of 9 to 2 places, right? So 9, 10, 11. So 4.8 times 10 to the raised to 11. So write it as a product of the powers of its prime factors. Sure, you're working clearly. So what we're going to do is that there's an easy and smarter way of doing this, is that you don't need to physically use the LCM method. I've seen some people use the LCM method, but you're going to use the the tree method or whatever they call it. So you're just going to put 480 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 9. We're going to split these guys individually. So 480, 10 raised to the power 9. So we know that 480 is divisible by, can divide by the number 48. So come 48 by 10, because 48 times 10 is 10, right? So 48 can divide again by 2. That should give us 24 and 2. 24 can divide back again to 12 and 2. 12 can divide back again to 2 and 6. 6 can divide back again to 2 and 3. 10 can divide by 2 and 5. That's it. So we highlight only the prime numbers. So you have 2 here, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 5. 10 raised to the power 9. Now, how do we do this question? 10 raised to the power 9. You can use the this one idea is that a b m idea is that a raised to the power m is multiplied by b raised to the power n, right? So 10 raised to the power 9 can be also written as 2 times 5 raised to the power 9. So 2 raised to the power of 9 times 5 raised to the power of 9. It's the same concept as this law. Okay, just remember this comes under the law of indices, so you want to check on that too. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 2 raised to the power of 9 times 3 times 5 times 5 raised to the power of 9. So we know that's going to be 2 plus 9, so it's a 14 times 3 times 5 raised to the power of 10. This is your answer for 3 marks. That's it. Find the largest factor of n that is an odd number. So what we have to understand, anything, right? We have to understand everything about this question. Is that how do we find the largest factor of n that's an odd number? So we have to know that anything multiplied by an even number is even, right? So when we multiply two odd numbers, we get an odd number. So what we have to understand is that anything multiplied by even. So we can use this number, this notation, right? Anything multiplied by an even number is even. So we cancel out this. These are two odd numbers that will give us an odd number. So this will give us the maximum odd number. So that should be 2929. 6875. This is your answer. That's it for 1 mark. There you go. You scored the mark, and yeah, you can get the answer. Next question is a bit lengthy, but it's pretty easy actually. It's just 3 marks. It just looks big, but it's just 3 marks. So we have the shape shown shaded in the diagram in the region between two semicircles. Is that the diameter of the outer circle is 12 centimeters. The shape has a constant thickness of 2 centimeters. Calculate the area of the shape. This is a classic question for shapes, okay? So what I need you to understand is that you have to really know the formula, okay? You have to know. And remember this, this thickness is 2 centimeters. It's because it's constant. It's right in here, it's constant, right? So what are you going to do is we have to give this imaginary length, right? So we have to give the imaginary length as x. So we have x plus 2, right? It's all equal to the 12 centimeters because it's the whole length. So we have x is equal to 12 minus 2. That should be giving us as 10 centimeters. So x is 10 centimeters. This x is 10 centimeters. So we're going to find out the area of this semicircle and the area of the large semicircle and subtract it to find out the area of the shape. Okay, because the shape shown shaded in the diagram is a region between the two semicircles. So we're going to find out the area of the shape by finding out the area. So what you have to know is that the area, remember this formula, okay, it's not given in the formula sheet. The area of a semicircle is pi r squared divided by 2. Instead of finding like the area of the whole square, the area of the whole circle divided by 2. And you can remember another formula is the radius is the diameter that's halved. That's it. Okay, so this shows us the diameter, so the radius should be 12 divided by 2. That should be giving us 6 centimeters. So let's say the area of the big semicircle. Okay, I'm just going to write the whole thing down. The area of the big semicircle is pi times 6 squared divided by 2. This should give us the value as 18 pi. Leave it as 18 pi. Don't convert it to a decimal. Now the area of the small semicircle is that you have to know your radius. Okay, now we have to find out the radius of 10 centimeters, not using this. So the radius of that small semicircle is 10 divided by 2. Sorry, guys, 12 minus 4 is, 12 minus 4 is 8 centimeters. So 8 divided by 2, that is 4 centimeters, okay? So we have pi times 4 raised to the power square divided by 2 is that the area is pi times 4 raised to the power square divided by 2. That should be giving us as 8 pi. Okay, so also they asked you to give your answer as a multiple of pi. So you just subtract them. 18 pi minus 8 pi, right? So 18 pi minus 8 pi, that's 10 pi. There you go. 10 pi is your answer in centimeters squared. Thank you guys for watching this video that's made by HyperDave. I hope so the next videos that I'm gonna make will be better and well structured. So we will be solving the next set of questions in the next video and give a walkthrough. So every week I will be uploading these videos, okay? So like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.